Hello and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and this is a special episode. A gruesome twosome, like we've been doing for a while.
Now, you'll never guess what we just covered. It's another gun X sword.
Sorry, it was a gun
Gun X sword.
Gun X sword.
Right.
Gun X sword. We talked about this show a few weeks back, and it was kind of in a joking manner. All laughs and giggles because again, out of context, sounds hilarious.
Right.
For those of you who didn't listen, there is the mech that our protagonist wields and pilots, I guess how you would say it.
Right.
They're called armors in this world, and his is called Dan of Thursday.
Yes.
And just out of context, it sounds hilarious.
Never in my life would I have ever, out of all the fucking mechs whose names I know by heart.
Yes.
You would not have been able to convince me that one of them would be Dan of Thursday.
Yeah. It's just so unique. But as you learn more about the show, there's obviously what they call the original 7.
Right.
And again, it's 7 days of the week, so it makes sense.
One for each day.
Exactly. It makes sense in context. But just out of it's hilarious.
The most nonsensical naming convention I can think of.
But whenever we were joking about it, one of the things is whenever our main guy, Van, goes into Dan of Thursday, he says, "Wake up, Dan."
Yeah.
it just sounds, again, like I said, it just sounds funny when you really think about it.
Right.
In the aspect of this transforming sword mech that is just an ass-kicking machine.
Dude,
and he's just like,
is it ever.
"Wake up, Dan." It's so good. But anyways, so just as we were talking about that, we saw that it was on Hulu, and
you wanted to explain how we came upon this show?
Sure,
Like how we heard of it?
You go ahead, you start, because I think technically you found it.
Right. This was a mech featured in Super Robot Wars 30,
right?
Which is the newest installment in the series, and as soon as I saw the motherfucker, I was like, "Oh, that's funny. What the hell is he from?" So as I use him, like, in the different, like, maps, I find out that his moveset is fucking awesome.
Right.
He's got, like, some of the best attacks in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need to find out where I can watch this dude's show so that I can point out these attacks and go, that's so cool.
Right.
Because they were.
Yes. I think one of those nights I was watching certain move sets over your shoulder, was like just checking out some kick-ass moves.
Yeah, Ian has been a fairly common spectator to my blood sport on the computer.
Right. But then I remember Googling something about like Dan of Thursday, and I remember seeing the show title and stuff. But the main thing was like the theme song for whenever Van goes into Dan.
The opening theme for this show is so fucking cool.
I'm not talking about the opening thing. I'm talking about we listened to the.
Oh, you mean like whenever he actually calls Dan down?
Right. Yes, exactly.
Okay,
that little like stinger, like, and again, oh man, it was so nice.
Opera comes in.
Yeah, it's really
beautiful.
epic. If you guys haven't heard it or listened to it, I definitely would recommend it, especially in the context of the show as well. It really is that cherry on top. But you're right, though. We can transition to that. The opening sequence for this show is so cool.
It is unique in the sense that there are no lyrics.
Yeah.
And it is
kind of feels a little tribal in nature.
Yeah.
Like some like a...
it's got like taiko drums.
Yeah.
Flutes. Like what you'd expect
kind of like
from it gives you almost a samurai vibe.
Yeah. And it kind of has like a...
Yes.
Kinda, like...
Yes, dude. That is my favorite part.
Yeah, I know what you want to call that. Like, operatic kind of something or another.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably call it the chorus.
I guess so.
It's a short song. It's like a minute and a half.
Right.
But, man, it's the coolest sounding minute and a half you'll ever listen to.
Well, it also has like a solid brass section, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, fast trumpets.
Okay, so before we get really in the weeds here and we start talking about this show, this is the first time that we on this podcast. I mean, we may have touched on other.
We've done like short OVAs before,
right? Or we may have
like a full series.
Yes, in conjunction with other movies, we have talked about. I think recent shows that we've watched, but never I think have we watched an entire show,
right,
and dedicated an episode to an entire show.
Yeah,
and this is going to be our first one, and I'm excited about it. The story I wanted to tell. Now that you have talked about how we were introduced into the show and how we looked into it. We found that it was on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sick. We have Hulu. That's fine. And then I think it was one night, a few weeks back, we watched the first and second, or just the first episode.
I think it was immediately after we had finished Trigun.
Yeah, you're right.
And we decided to give the first episode a look, just to get a read on what the show's about.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
It's fucking insane.
What a fun ride that was.
It's crazy.
Yes.
It is a fun show.
It is fun. But shortly after, we saw that, I guess it's from what I Googled and looked it up, the rights are going back to Funimation, which I don't think we have right now currently, but it's saying that it's being taken off of Hulu in like the next, I want to say the time it was like 10 or 12 days.
Yeah.
And I was like,
couple weeks.
Oh, bummer. That's no fun.
Right.
And then I think we caught the itch. We were like, oh, let's just give it another shot.
We came up with the plan.
Yes,
the roadmap to finish this show the day before it is taken off.
Right. By the time you're listening to this, it is definitely off of Hulu by now. Yeah. But
shame on you for not knowing sooner.
As the time of this being recorded, it's a Wednesday, and it's being taken off tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And so we had less than a week, and I think the show is 26 episodes.
Yes.
So we were like, okay, we've watched like the first 2, so let's go ahead and do some quick division and figure out how many episodes we need to watch. And I want to say we sat down and we watched 3 episodes a night and just like knocked the show out, and
couldn't have ended up any better.
Just at a week, I think. And I do think it was nice. Oh, it was nice, and each little viewing session was like just long enough, I feel like. Oh yeah. Because I think they're about 20 minutes, so it was like hour-long session each night, just kind of knock it out.
Not bad at all.
And I think I still retained a lot of the stuff going into it.
Yeah.
One of the things is, obviously, if you've listened to this show for any length of time, you know that I'm not great with subtitles a lot of times, because that's just I'm poor at that kind of thing, because I also want to watch the show, I've noticed, and like watching it and trying to read is like sometimes a little bit of a...
That's the one thing I noticed with this, is that you didn't much mention any hassle with the subtitles this time around.
Because I did initially.
Oh yeah.
The first couple episodes, I was kind of turned off a little bit, because the some of the subtitles were like quick.
Oh yeah.
And like, so it was like a few sentences like I had to kind of like briefly glance at and kind of infer what was going on based on context clues.
Really?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
I think once I knew that going into it, I think it was a little bit better. Sometimes it still went a little too quick, because I think I think it's just the fact that it was a translation of like the Japanese sentence or group of words is shorter than like the English sentence would be. So for me to read each word, and they're just like da 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 da, and it's over, and it's like and they're moving on with the conversation, so it has to kind of keep up.
That's one thing I noticed, is that they had to have taken some liberties with the subtitles a bit, is because some phrases in Japanese are like multi-purpose.
Right.
Like you can say one thing and it could mean a plethora of other things.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I do like it when they do that, just to vary it up a bit, instead of like him saying the go-to meaning like over and over.
Yes. But like I said, initially it was kind of hard, because I was like, because of the fact like it is a very visually interesting show.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And so my eyes getting distracted from the words sometimes, and they're moving real fast. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta keep up. But I think knowing that, I was a little bit better to like mentally prepare for that sort of thing.
Okay.
Especially going, you want to talk about like a time crunch? We had like a week to finish the show, so I was like, I'm gonna keep up or I'm gonna fall behind. So I was like, I know if I miss something, I can probably ask us a question and we'll probably figure it out. But anyways, this show, kind of at the beginning, it felt kind of like Big O. Oh yeah, in there was like a new enemy, kind of like the first few episodes
sort
each
of
time.
A monster of the week formula
with this little through line, like we always talk about.
Yeah, it gives you like little hints here and there of like what the protagonist is doing. Yeah, throughout his bouts with like these fucking maniacs with armors.
Yeah, and so he's a man dressed in a black tuxedo.
Right. And if you want to call it that, it's
it's hard.
Definitely not a tuxedo in like the traditional sense.
Yes, they call it that in the show.
It's like a Final Fantasy tuxedo.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Belts and straps.
Just imagine the most Japanese tuxedo.
Crazy ass hat with an earring.
Yeah, with a little
brim ring.
And brim ring. Yeah. It's a
very like tall, lanky.
Yeah, he is.
Sort of gated fellow.
He looks very, how do you say it? I don't want to say depressed. I guess it kind of comes with, nonchalant. He just kind of has that like,
apathetic.
Apathetic, that's the word I was looking for. It's just, I don't care. It just,
it's like, just looking for food.
Place
to sleep.
And then, but as the show progresses and you kind of learn those little things about him, it doesn't take very long, but you realize that his wife was killed on their wedding day. Murdered. Again, as they were getting married, which again is just
awful.
It's hard. It's hard.
That ain't some shit you just get over.
No. You don't just wake up and be okay with that. But as the show kind of progresses, you have there's a girl, Wendy, that the whole start of the show is Van's trying to find the man that killed his wife.
Right.
And all he knows is that it is a man with a claw. So he just calls him the Claw, or Claw, or whatever. Yeah. And then Wendy believes that a man with a claw kidnapped her brother, older brother, and so she's like, I gotta find my brother.
Right.
And then so they're kind of like they're companions on a common journey, because they're like, well, I guess we're looking for the same guy here. You know,
might as well tag along.
Exactly. But again, Wendy is this young girl who has this kind of optimistic approach, which is the stark contrast to our main character guy, who is very apathetic, as we said. And so this is a very interesting dichotomy starting off the show. And obviously shenanigans ensue.
Oh yeah.
As we had talked about before, the opening sequence shows these like silhouettes of characters.
Yeah.
And then as we're going throughout the show, we're like discovering new characters, and their silhouettes are like becoming.
Yeah, they start showing up in the intro.
And I thought that was such a cool touch.
Awesome.
It is such a cool touch. And I think about halfway through, whenever like you have the full cast, and like there is like the good guys versus bad guys feel. They changed the opening sequence, but it still is really cool.
Oh
though. Yeah. Is there anything in particular that really stuck out about this show, like, dude, from our viewing of it?
The one thing that hooked me were the attacks.
Yeah.
And the voice acting.
The voice acting is very good.
Specifically for Van.
Yeah. That man sells his part.
It was dude, he can go from like this just lazy, lackadaisical, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly doing anything that doesn't involve finding his wife's killer.
Right. Or eating food.
Flying off the handle.
Oh, man.
Turning into almost a rabid animal.
I mean,
at even the slightest hint of getting at this motherfucker who murdered his wife.
Yes.
You can hear it. insane.
Yes. There is one thing that I will say in regards to this whole show. The characters. Each one of the characters, each new character that is part of our crew that is introduced, they all are so interesting, I think, and unique in their own way, and have their own kind of stories. I guess I'm saying all this because they just feel real. Oh, yeah. They don't just feel like some side character that's just there to fill a role.
Yeah.
Some of them are that kind of, like in a story, more like practical aspect.
Right. But that's not like all that there is to them.
Yes. They're not so two-dimensional that that's all they are. They have a backstory. They have some sort of goal or aspiration or dream, if you will.
Right. Oh God.
Because this is a anyways, we'll get to that later.
Right.
But each one has this this three-dimensional aspect to them that makes it feel like they're part of the world and they're part of this group as a whole, and there's a reason why they're here, and there's they're all connected in this bigger picture kind of aspect, and I love that.
Yeah.
And again,
does a good job.
Exactly, especially because again we kind of have this antagonist group and this protagonist group, and they're obviously like they're connected through many different avenues. Oh yeah, and it all feels real, and it's really cool, and I love that. That's one of those big things, and obviously the fight sequences, the voice acting as well. The music as well.
Yes.
Music in this show.
I love it.
Like we had said before, the opening sequence. It's wonderful. But the song that I don't know what you want to call that. I want to say it's like Dan of Thursday's theme song. Right. Anytime he's coming down from the heavens, anytime he's doing some badass stuff. Oh yeah. This tune is playing. And again, they do this in other movies and shows where it's like you kind of get acclimated to it. You get you understand it, so that whenever like an important moment happens, like we'll talk about later, it like really hammers it home. Whenever you hear that song, you're like, hell yeah!
Like, it is finally.
Really, yes. Yeah, there is some. There are some very interesting characters, like really. I mean, like auxiliary characters, right? Like the sailor man. I forgot what his name is.
Kaiji.
He's a little weird.
Jeez.
I love how he just says a lot of random stuff in English.
Yeah, English.
Yeah, definitely. He just says a lot of random stuff. Yeah. And it's just, I don't understand.
It's hilarious.
There's some really interesting characters that, as this show progresses, you get to see kind of added to the roster. I'm looking at the episode list right now to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
But Van and Wendy leave Wendy's hometown and kind of go on the lookout for certain stuff. And, of course, they stumble across people that Van has met throughout his life, one of them being Carmen 99.
Yeah.
A mercenary. But, yeah. There was something I wanted to say about the main plot of the show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I guess
I would classify it as a revenge drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You don't really learn a whole lot until like you're at least halfway through.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like. The first half...
They tease you with little tidbits of like the actual story, and then they fucking drop it on you.
Oh, yeah, because, wow, how fancy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually exactly right. So, again, we have our first, like, 13 episodes is, like, us trying to find certain things. And, again, like, as we're starting to get to, like, 10, 11, 12 or so, we're kind of, like, really getting some answers onto things.
Yeah.
But, like, episode 13, Gadvid, which is, like, again...
Van's mentor.
Yes. Again, and this is, again... I'm not going to really say that. Obviously, getting into this episode, we're going to spoil stuff. Right. But this is, I would say, the first
show's been out since 2005. You have no excuse.
You have no excuse. What I'll say is the first like big spoiler is the fact that in this episode 13, again, we're like halfway through the show. Gadved, mentor to Van, basically tells him that like the day of your wedding you got killed, and your wife and I resurrected you.
Yeah.
And like kind of merged you with this armor, Dan of Thursday.
Right.
That's why you're going through all this like physical trauma right now. It's because you have to pilot him to like, he needs you to live and you need him to live.
Right.
That's kind of how this whole thing works. Mm-hmm. So the more you go without him is like the quicker you come to dying. Just because of this mark or whatever.
Right. You want to know the real kick in the teeth, though?
What's that?
It's his fault that he and his wife almost died that day. Sorry, that his wife did die that day.
What was that? I think I missed that part.
He was working with the Claw, and he brought him to their wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I missed that.
Really?
I must have missed that.
Yeah, man, that was like the big twist.
So wait, when did was that introduced here at episode 13?
Yes.
Okay, I must have missed that part. So he invited. Okay, so wait. Oh, whoa.
You're supposed to know.
I know. Well, I mean, hey. So Van was working with the Claw?
No.
Okay.
Well, indirectly.
Indirectly. Okay.
Gadved was working with the Claw to usurp the original 7. Sorry, the original 7.
Right.
So that he could make way for his dream.
Interesting.
So, you can imagine Van does not take this too well.
Damn. I didn't mean Dan. Sorry.
Dan.
Dan of
Wake
Thursday.
up.
Wake up, Dan. Okay, so wait a second. And so after this episode 13, halfway through, is that when Van realizes that he was like, it's kind of his fault as to why, or did he just not realize that at all?
No. That happens at the start of the episode.
Right.
After Gadved explains everything, he's like, why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know, I believe in the dude's cause. It's like, okay, but my wife is dead!
Right. Damn. Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
I'm gonna freaking kill you, dude! And that's why he kills him.
Right.
Okay, it makes more sense, yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyways, this is the first like real like solid death of a character, I think. Or I mean like mainline character. Mm-hmm. And Van kills.
Oh yeah.
Let's go just for our sake. What was he? He was Diablo of Monday.
Yeah.
So he goes ahead and kills him off, and then of course this is when I feel like it starts to like, you can look at it from both ways. Either goes downhill or uphill. Yeah. There's like, it kind of has this kind of bumpy ride, but we kind of run into.
You talking about like, as far as like progression of the story goes, or are you talking about like morally?
I think in multiple avenues that we get this is where the first few sequences of us like gathering the party together, which I think is kind of an up, because it's kind of cool. You get the whole band together. Right. But this is also like the progression of him like really like buckling down and like starting to like kill certain members of this group. Mm-hmm. That's what I meant.
One.
Right. Depending on how you look at it, it goes up or down is what it feels like.
Right.
Because there is the next episode after that is Swift Brownie, which is Priscilla.
When we meet Priscilla, yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of a new companion that kind of gets added into the ranks. Mm-hmm. Again, very interesting character.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, it just kind of progresses from that way. There's some other kind of, again, we don't got to get into it too much if you don't want to, but there's a good filler episode, which is just...
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And this is when we'll tiptoe into one of the comments that I made. I had written down for us. I had...
So Ian has this list of notes, right?
Yes,
And looking at it, like, from the start, it seems fairly, like, normal. Like, it touches on everything you'd think it would.
Right.
But then... For the fourth note, it just says sexy with 3 question marks. I'm like, what?
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
And
now, after we had just finished the show, it's not the first thing that comes to mind, but this show has some serious moments of like fan service.
Oh yeah,
like dotted about.
Right. It's what you said it earlier before we even started the episode. Whenever you were laughing about this, you said it's very sexually.
It's overtly sexual.
Overtly sexual at
some
times.
Areas, yeah.
And there was
not enough to really like. I'd say like worry about like the show in general. Like it's not going to ruin the show for you.
Right.
But this one fucking episode.
Ooh, it's the one filler episode.
It's the beach episode.
It's the beach episode. Now, the hard part is I say filler, but it is
it might as well be filler. Like it does introduce like a couple of recurring characters, but they're very minuscule.
Yes.
So I don't feel as though we need to touch on it.
Right.
But just we're at least gonna warn you that it is there.
I'm not gonna say I wasn't gonna touch on the episode. I was just on the idea of the show being overtly sexual from time to time.
Right.
There's one character in particular.
Oh God. Oh,
and she is I feel like I still can't pronounce
Fasalina.
her. Fasalina is her name, and she is Dahlia of Wednesday.
Yeah.
In case you guys are keeping track. And I feel like I never quite understood her character.
She doesn't give off the vibe she does nearly as bad whenever she's first introduced.
Yes, whenever she's first introduced, and she kind of seems quiet into herself.
Yeah.
Or
modest even.
You're right. But then
as the show progresses, as you see her like actually start fighting, even before,
right, she seems a bit flirty and like kind of heavy-handed with it,
right.
And then she there was one scene in particular where I can only assume, again, let me put a pin in that for a second. Again, Wendy. Companion to Van, or technically, I would say our two main characters in this show.
Right.
We're looking for Michael, which is Wendy's brother, and he is
fucking Michael.
He is freaking Michael.
Freaking Michael.
Bitch Michael.
Piece of shit.
He pilots Sawdad of Sunday, and he is like one of the key ingredients to the Claw's plot to make his quote unquote dream come true.
Right.
The time of happiness, if you will. Again, so setting up that groundwork, there is one scene where Fasalina. I always want to say Facilina. Because that's kind of how they pronounce it in the show a little bit. It's like a little different. Anyways, so Fasalina, I can only assume takes Michael's virginity,
right?
And again, and it's not like subtle.
No,
it's not subtle. She's over here like describing.
You don't see like any.
Any hard nudity,
right? No,
it's all suggested. But there's definitely a moment whenever he's laying down, she's on top of him, and he's just like standing there, and she's describing the power of life to him, and she's like,
okay,
whoa! And it's like, oh my God, dude, what is happening?
All right,
yeah. But ever since that moment. Ooh, her character leans heavily into the sexual side, and each one of the armors has a weapon that's associated with it. So our man
Van has a sword,
yes, and it's associated with he's got obviously a sword armor. So like his big Dan of Thursday can turn into a sword, but it's also piloted by that. It's kind of how the premise of it works.
Yeah,
the character we talked about before. Gadvid was an axe, so obviously it's pretty legit.
Right.
Hers is like a spear.
Yeah.
And again, so you can only imagine with it being piloted by that, you have to like insert it into like this
into
base.
The floor of the cockpit.
Right. So like again, Van like sticks the sword in there, and he's holding it and kind of like
he's
quote
like
unquote
on one knee and holding the sword and somehow piloting this giant machine.
Right. It just kind of feels like he's doing it from brain power.
Right.
Like once he connects in, it's like he's like hardwired in and could just like it's like an extension of his body is what it feels like, I think. Or that's what I assumed it kind of is.
Yeah.
Well, our girl Selena is on this pole, and man, she is working this pole to fight, and it's so
it is
man, it gets
bona fide stripper mech.
I've never seen it.
Like a fucking certain like breed of like praying mantis.
Oh, dude!
That I always thought looked really cool, but now that after seeing this thing, God,
it just feels it feels like she's obviously a very sexual character,
right?
at this point, and it just feels like
is gonna
it's
gonna rep that a bit,
and it feels it's funny, but it's also like
it's obnoxious.
You find it obnoxious. I find it funny. I think it's funny. I like it. I think it's interesting and it's funny, but because it also kind of fits the quirky weirdness of this show just enough. Right. We're like, it's not like it's so overtly out of the ordinary, where it's like I can't believe like
okay, yeah, I'm not willing to put this past the show.
Exactly. The fact that there's a spear mech that like, and again, there's a sexy lady that can like dance around and control this mech does not surprise me. It doesn't. Fine. My suspension of disbelief isn't corrupted,
blown out the window.
But anyways, so.
Moving on.
Again, there's other aspects of the show that, again, for some reason, I'm not sure if it's. There's no inherently in the universe that describes this, but for some reason, all the ladies love Van.
Oh yeah,
he is just a chick magnet.
I cannot imagine.
I don't know why. I think it's just because he's so apathetic. And he doesn't give them the time of day. They're just like, man, he doesn't pay me any attention. I just gotta.
They might just see him as like this lost puppy.
You know what? You're probably right.
Lost his puppy wife.
One So, anyway, he's just sad and by himself, and they're like, I can fix him,
right,
or something. I don't know. But it just he has at least at one point in time he has the eyes of at least every female companion. Well, not
three of them.
Three of them. The main kind of ones.
Three.
I would say.
Fucking three.
I don't know. Hey, you know. Everyone has their own preference. Everyone likes a sharp-dressed man who can pilot a sword mech.
Not that sharp, man.
I mean, well, you know.
That thing is pointy. You poke someone's eye out with that fucking hat.
You know, maybe they like that in this universe. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about a little while ago. Mm-hmm. This doesn't take place on Earth.
Right.
They call Earth that we live on now, they call that Mother Earth. Mm-hmm. And they have evacuated that planet because it is like...
no longer habitable.
Correct.
So, this takes place on an old prison world.
Yes.
Called Endless Illusion.
Yeah. Which kind of sounds a little scary.
It is.
And then so...
especially after you find out what the original 7 were.
Yeah.
In regards to the planet.
They were kind of like...
wardens.
Wardens of sorts, yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But then...
turn a whole fucking planet into a prison.
Right. And then the moon that they have there
is a planetary destruction system.
Yes. And you don't realize that until, again, we're getting like really deep into like almost the end of the show here.
Right.
The last probably 5-10 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a real like holy shit moment.
Right. It's on par with like finding out that the moon is a fucking gunman.
Yes.
In Gurren Lagann.
There's a joke. There's a joke between us here on the Aftermath, Ethan, Dylan, and myself, and I believe we've actually covered this on certain episodes.
I'm sure we have.
The moon's haunted.
Right.
It always has been.
The moon.
Frick
all my
the
homies
moon.
hate the moon.
All my homies hate the moon. Evangelion, the moon's haunted.
Right.
Gurren Lagann, the moon's haunted. And then, of course, dude, I busted out laughing whenever the start of the plan is that Michael, Wendy's brother,
right,
is piloting Saw Dad of Sunday and is going to go to the other side of the moon
to activate
something,
right?
Or he doesn't really know. He gets to the other side and he's like, "Holy shit! It's like
a
weapon!"
This?
And then Dylan just goes, "Moon's haunted." I was like, "Dude, freaking moon's haunted!" And so
should have known.
I should have known the entire time. But the Claw keeps describing this as the time of happiness. The time of happiness. It's his dream, and his dream that he's trying to like make happen is now. This is where I may need some help because I don't think I ever quite fully locked into what he was talking about.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. I think I was getting lost in some of the things he was saying because again, his character feels mad.
Yeah.
Like in the aspect of
insane.
Like he feels crazy.
He is a psychopath.
The way like his facial animations are like certain frames of him where it's like that kind of like wide-eyed smile of like, oh, you're a crazy person.
Yeah. He's got it in his head that if everyone thought the way he did, then the world would be a perfect utopia where no one would ever be sad or angry or upset ever again.
Right.
Because he just happened upon the idea one day that I'm just going to change. I'm going to brainwash everyone.
Yes.
Make them think the way I do.
But the thing is, I think it's funny, and I think it's also clever, because this definitely feels like how cults are started.
Right.
Our guy, the Claw, whenever you first meet him and he starts like talking,
he just seems like this jovial old man.
He seems like a sweet old man. I would say 75% of the time.
Right.
You like see him and he is like caring for life, caring for plants, for small animals, and he seems like he's a good guy.
Right.
And then the way in which he talks about his plan is abstract in nature.
Right.
And so I think that's why I never quite locked into it, because he never overtly says,
this is what I'm going to do. Step one.
This is what I'm going to do, and it's going to involve brainwashing people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never are those words put together where you're like, oh, shit. It's always like, I want my dream to come to fruition. And I want I want
everyone to share my dream.
Yes, I want everyone to share my dream, and I want everyone to feel the way I feel and to be happy in this world. And so, again, everything he's saying, you're like, I mean,
sure.
You're not
What's
wrong.
the harm?
You know, if your dream is to change the world through kindness and love, I'm like, hey, you know what?
Yeah,
that sounds great.
More power to you. However, you should have thought about that before you killed my fucking wife.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that there's like certain aspects of his character where like he kills a guy at a certain point.
Just kills people.
He was like hugging this guy and kills him with his claw.
And then whenever he's finished and the dude is like slumped on the ground, he's like,
I'm sorry.
No.
And it's
I did it again.
Yeah.
Like it was a fucking accident.
Like it's an accident.
Like he just can't control.
What was the other thing? What was the other thing he said? I had joked about this.
Yeah.
Because again, it's funny, but it's also it's real. And I think it's why it's funny, because it's so real. He had said, I have to go kill them, or whatever. I have to go kill these guys, I think is what Michael said. Because like Michael's like his right hand man at this point.
Oh yeah, he said I have to settle something.
Oh yeah, he said
settle it.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean by that?
But I believe he's like, he was like, I have to go settle this. I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, I have to go
help your dream come to fruition.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, I see.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this feels
good.
like
it's
a cult.
Oh,
this feels like a cult.
Okay.
It's like, I have to go kill these guys. What was that again? Oh, I have to go dispense of this.
Remove these obstacles.
Yes, and you're like, that's much better. Right. You're not killing anybody. You're just making the dream come true.
Right.
And it's like, again, whenever you make everything sound pretty like that, everything sounds nice.
Right. Don't use words like kill or murder.
Or hate.
Or fuck you.
Oh, man. So anyways, painting that picture for everyone listening, that is our main antagonist. He feels like this sweet person that you can get behind, and he stays in that realm.
Yeah.
At no point is it ever like
there's like no crack in his personality.
There's no facade.
Right.
Right.
Like
it's
that's just genuinely who he is.
Yes. And you're like, again, as he's talking about it, he's even convincing people in the world about it.
Right.
Because again, it's just all about how he says it. And you're like, I can get behind that.
Right.
You know, and certain people are okay with it.
To an extent.
Yeah. But I really think he has, with his words, brainwashed a few people. And before he's even done any of the magic, Majora's Mask moon destruction stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, by the way...
Dawn of the final day.
Which, by the way...
4 hours remain.
That is kind of what happens. There's a point in time whenever he activates the moon weapon, and the moon starts like being hurled towards the planet.
Right. Initially, they describe it as like this planetary destruction system, which I'm assuming is like a fail-safe in case anything ever went wrong.
Right.
With
Which
the
makes
prison
sense.
planet. But he is planning to use it in conjunction with this gigantic armor that has been constructed for him called Birthday.
or what was it called? Big Daddy? Was
big,
that what?
Big Brain.
Big Brain, sorry. Big
In
Brain.
parentheses.
Yeah, right.
So he's planning to do a hard reset.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit?
What?
Big Brain or Birthday.
Yeah.
It reminds me kind of Gurren Lagann.
Really?
It's like a big face with arms and legs on it.
Oh my God, you're right.
It just kind of feels a little bit.
It looked like a fucking huge ass gunman at first.
Yeah. But Gurren Lagann has the kind of frontline unit. What is it? What is his name? Is a gunman? Is that?
Yeah, a gunman. That's the type of mecha.
Yeah, he has. It feels like it's like a big head,
right?
But outside
with arms and legs.
Yeah, but outside,
not a body or a torso, mind
right,
you,
right.
But just arms and legs.
The torso is the face
to a head,
right? And that kind of is what this feels like a little bit, a little more proportionate, I think. But anyways,
it's a creepy design.
Yeah, it's a little weird,
fitting with the character, no doubt.
Right.
But his plan is to use this system in conjunction with his armor to brainwash everyone.
Right.
And supposedly bring the dead back to life.
I wasn't sure about that.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't bluffing with that.
Really?
But the fact that he even tried to reason with this motherfucker.
Oh man.
Like after even talking to him once, I'd have been like, oh, okay, yeah, this dude's just after my head.
Right.
There's no reasoning with him.
Yeah, I really do want to look into that, and because I felt like in that moment he's
just trying to do anything to keep
that's exactly what I thought. I thought he is just trying to say whatever he can to save his ass because he knows that this man, right? this man is giving it his all to kill me right now. Mm-hmm. But okay, we're getting into like what I really wanted to talk about in this episode.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to talk about, and now we're getting into really the meat of it all. Now you understand what's going on,
dude. We forgot the most important characters in the whole fucking show.
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we didn't forget.
There is, again, in the last handful of episodes, we have, as the show's progressed, we have met many different people.
Right.
Like we've already mentioned Priscilla and Carmine and some other ones. There's some we're about to get into that are really great. But it's part of like I said, there's the antagonist party and there's the protagonist party. I feel like, and as the show progresses, we've met them through our adventures, and towards the end, they all kind of band together on this big hover ship thing, and then again, we all have one common goal,
right?
To stop
the claw,
exactly, to stop the time of happiness, quote unquote.
Right.
And so I will go ahead and let you take it away and introducing the characters we didn't get a chance to talk about because, man, they're a hoot.
They are the Eldora 5. They are the most badass bunch of Spaniards you will ever meet.
Yeah.
They meet Van initially while they have happened upon a bar/restaurant called the Pink Amigo.
Right. No, the Pink Flamingo, wasn't it?
Pink Flamingo?
I thought so.
That'd be a bit... I'm pretty sure it was the Pink Amigo.
Oh, you're probably right. I thought it was Flamingo, but I could be wrong, though.
But in this chance meeting, Van helps them to unlock the true potential of their mech, the Eldora Soul, which is... It's like a combiner super robot.
Yes.
Which doesn't feel out of place because there's a fucking mech that can transform into a sword.
Yeah, right.
And it is the coolest. Like, it has some of the best scenes in the show, I feel like.
Oh, man.
Like,
there is a very, very
anytime these guys are on screen, you are always rooting for them.
Yeah. They're colloquially known in the universe as the old timers, right, here and there throughout. But there's 5 of them, and one of them is always...
You wouldn't think so, dude. They kick so much ass.
Yeah, you're right. So technically there was 5 of them.
Right.
And at some point during their journeys in their past, the 5th member, who was a woman, she passed somehow. Right. She died. And her granddaughter or daughter, I've forgotten how it is, but...
I think it was her granddaughter.
Kind kind of like is the caretaker of them, kind of, or I would say caretaker is like a loose term, kind of keeps them in line because they're a bunch of drunkards,
right?
And so they just kind of will like drink and eat and kind of. She's like, but anyways,
gotta love them.
Yeah. So she's kind of like the unofficial fifth member of the team, but doesn't actually pilot with them,
right?
But the other 4 old guys all have like a different part of the robot, and it's all different colored and stuff, and it's really sick.
It's very vibrant.
But we're getting to the point where towards the end of this show, hold on, I just want to figure this out. Remember what episode that was that they met them?
It was, I believe,
because I remember it was kind of towards the beginning. I thought.
Yeah, go a bit further down. Heroes one more time. Episode 3, they meet these guys.
Really? Well, that's way at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was going to give me like a.
I mean, it's fine. I feel like we've done them enough justice.
Right. I just want to know if it was the pink flamingo or pink amigo, because I could have I thought it was a flamingo, that it was like there was like the hold on, I'm just gonna go ahead and. Let's see. Am I right? You're right. Pink amigo. I see it right here. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Okay. Anyways, regardless, as we start getting down to the wire here, we're getting the moon's about to crash into the planet.
The warriors have assembled.
Exactly. We have good versus bad guys, and everyone's kicking ass in some variety and flavor.
Right. The ship is on its way to the terraforming platform.
Yes.
Which is a continent.
Yeah.
Supposedly that was under the ocean that has now risen like far above sea level.
Right. But even just right before that, there are, just when you think that like a show or a movie like this is going to give it to you, like the heroes are going to get it in the nick of time.
Right.
There's all these like pitfalls that happen, and they fail.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple of moments where they just don't quite make it, or they get destroyed, or for instance, at one point in time, the satellite that Dan of Thursday goes into to repair gets destroyed, and so he can't repair.
Right.
And at that point, again, also, and he can't be piloted anymore. And then Van obviously
starts getting sick.
Exactly. So there's all these little things like right down to the wire where like it feels like the heroes are being like broken almost. Right. And I like it because it definitely changed what I thought was going to happen.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because again, like you imagine a show, we're getting down to the end, like okay, well the heroes are probably going to win, but then
they don't.
And again, at every little checkpoint where they're trying their best, they're doing it, and they're doing some damage, and they're getting somewhere, but it's not quite like enough to stop the inevitable almost. Right. And you're like, oh shit, we're like getting real close here. Like,
what are they gonna fucking do?
Yeah, exactly. And even in the show, they start asking questions like that, and I love that. Is that the heroes didn't win all the time,
right?
And there's, or at least at the end here, where like it really matters.
They won when it counted.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Boy, did they.
And dude, one character that we haven't had a chance to touch on is that there is
Ray Lundgren.
Yes. And
this motherfucker.
Dude, he is the...
For all intents and purposes, he is a mirror image of Van.
I was going to say he is the yin to the yang.
He's been put through the exact same circumstances that Van has.
And again, and has a very similar outlook on the situation of trying to stop the claw.
Right. And specifically making sure that it's him that kills him.
Yes. And again, so that's kind of their fight, is they're both trying to kill the same person.
Right.
And they have their moments where they're like,
they butt heads.
Yes, but they're cordial with each other.
Right.
They're fine. But they there is so many cool aspects of that of what is his name? Vulcan. His armor, which is like this really I mean, like clad with weapons.
Designed by his late wife.
Yes. Just a badass weapon. So in the show, even his like little cameos that he makes are really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
At this point in time, he has shot this like huge like weapon that ended up killing the person that it was intended to, one of the other original 7.
Yeah.
And it ricocheted back and like hit him in the eye in some capacity, and his vision has not been the same.
Oh yeah.
And this person is like a sharpshooting, like, I mean, the
ranged weaponry is his forte.
The first few times, I made a joke about this when we watched it. The first few times you see him, he shoots first and then wonders what's going on afterwards.
Right, motherfucker's walking up like Troa.
People, you're right. People walk him into a room and he's immediately shooting them down. And then it's like, oh, who was that? You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of stuff where he's like, I'm joking, obviously, but he does. I mean, like, his first action is to shoot, and then that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So
laser focused.
Right. And so for this character to have that weakness, it really does feel like a detriment to his character.
Yeah.
I mean, like in a good narrative reason, like not like in a bad way.
Right.
In like that makes sense. I mean, obviously, like he is a very strong, powerful character, and he can't quite do.
He's been nerfed.
Exactly. He's been hard nerfed by the realism of life. But dude, as we're getting down to these last few moments of the show, there is a badass moment when Ray
he has taken command of the land ship.
Yes.
With the Vulcane.
Yes.
And is now making a beeline.
Right.
For the Claw's like
he has gotten
coffin,
he has gotten everyone off the ship that to safety.
Right.
And I mean, he is just suicide bombing this guy.
Yeah.
He's ramming it in there. All he's got.
He ends up having to abandon the Vulcane after fucking Michael shows up and screws it up.
Freaking bitch Michael.
So he is on foot at this point.
Yes.
And he makes it to the stairway up to Birthday.
Yes.
Where the Claw is within reach.
I mean, he's shooting.
He kills all the guards.
Right.
He's just trying to land any shot that he can on the motherfucker.
But the distance that he's at, he can't quite do it. He gets in just enough range, and they have this like little back and forth.
Right.
And he shoots a shot, and the Claw, I mean, he deflects it with his claw.
Right.
And then there's like this kind of like, you tried.
What a shame.
What a shame.
It's like, but was it?
But was it?
So,
and then
hearing this, the Claw turns around, and as soon as he sees
what
has been done, he is devastated.
I mean,
that is the first expression of like distress that you see on the man's face since you've met him in the show.
This is the point whenever this calm, kind of smile, grinning, kind of old man has like this
jovial personality is gone.
This wide-eyed look of fear and dread all of a sudden comes over this character.
Yeah.
Because again, the gun that ricocheted off his gauntlet stopped the mechanism that's
about to activate
you're right,
the time of happiness
to make his quote-unquote dream come true, or whatever you want to call it. And then he realizes like this is the end of it all.
I'm already about to die. How much longer am I going to have to wait? Yeah. This motherfucker probably just put an end to my fucking dream.
And then, dude, there's guards that end up coming through. And
they mow Ray down.
Right. But he gets to die looking at the face of his enemy in sheer panic and dread.
He's like,
and then
I've done it.
Yes. And I was like, freaking hell
it's
yeah,
like, damn
dude.
straight.
I was like, what a good, and again, because obviously he's dying, but like
he didn't get to kill him, but that was fucking good enough.
It was good enough, and it was.
I took your fucking dream away from you. You bitch.
Everything you're working for is now null and void. And I did that. I did that to you, and it was like, oh shit, yeah, that's so freaking awesome.
Later, fucker, I'm gonna go see my wife.
Yeah. And I love the little sequence, like at the very end when the credits are rolling or like about to roll. His version of, I guess, of a dream. It's kind of like his heaven. He like wakes up and he's like, because all he wanted was to be married and have a quiet life at like a lakefront property somewhere. And so he wakes up on the porch of a house, and again, his wife is like folding laundry out in the yard or something like that on like a drying rack. And they have a nice, very cute conversation, and it's very awesome. And it's like, welcome home. You're finally here. I'm sorry I abandoned you. And it was like, oh, dude, it was such a lovely end to a character that has also been through just enough trauma, just as much trauma as our main main guy, Van. Mm-hmm. And at this point in time, speaking of Van, he has gone to space and tried to stop Michael, freaking Michael.
Fuck Michael.
He tried to stop Michael and the Saw Dad of Sunday from like making the moon come.
Right.
Didn't end up making it. And because, again, as we said before, his satellite got destroyed, couldn't repair. Long story short, they found a different one from one of the...
Gadved's old satellite for Diablo.
Right. They launched him into space to be able to use that to repair, to be... And he was gone for like a solid, like 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
He was like... And he was out. And you didn't hear anything from him. He was up there. There was a fight that happened between... Michael and him, and you just don't really know what happened. He got lost in the fight. Saw him
re-entry, like as the moon is getting like lined up with birthday.
Right,
they both end up like getting absorbed and or just lost out in space.
Right, but you never really see what happens to Van.
Right,
I never really assumed he was dead, but you just don't quite know where he is.
Right,
but you're assuming he's up in space somewhere doing something. So obviously he's our main protagonist, and he's not here. But there's a lot of commotion going down on the planet.
Oh, yeah. The final battle.
Oh, man. Yeah, the final battle's going on. And as I said before, after all the shit happened with Ray and all that epic scene happened, our heroes are kind of getting their asses kicked left and right.
Right.
The Eldora 5 are not doing so good against like the grunts.
Both
same thing with Priscilla.
And Priscilla are immobile.
Yeah, and they're not doing again. Like I said,
out.
Everything and we're coming down to the wire because they were able to fix what Ray just did, and so it's like, damn, all this work and we're still not going to make it.
What the fuck are you going to do?
Exactly, and I mean, like. It was like music to my ears.
Right.
You just like
message from the heavens.
A message from the heavens. Perfect. It's just like I said before. They give you this theme every time he comes in and kicks ass, and it's like, and it has this very, like I said, chorus of vocals and this kind of like really. It's just an awesome song.
Oh yeah.
And it comes in every time he is. And you've heard this song at this point in time. You know, tens of 20s of times or however many. And so it's like, oh, I'm very comfortable with what this song is. Just when you think we're coming down to the wire and it's not going to...
time.
Oh, it's
this
different.
time when you hear it, you're like...
Oh, man.
Yes!
Because the song comes in, and then just like it always does, the clouds part way as this sword flies down from space.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, freaking hell yeah, dude.
Like, finally!
This is what I'm talking about. And, again, and just whenever everything... It's just that perfect... icing on the cake, like just when you think all hope is lost, and then he just comes blasting through, and it's just, and his snarky ass remarks and stuff, and it's just, it was so perfect.
The man is firing on all
cylinders, man.
He is elated.
Yeah,
that his murderer,
right,
like the murderer of his wife, is now within his reach. Finally. And he gets, and they even put up like a barrier, like an energy fueled wall, which he's able to get over. Jumps over it,
and so it almost feels like you're in, like it almost feels like a 1v1
match.
Or, a 1v1 cage match. Yeah, and it's like, holy shit, dude, it's going down. And again, like we said before, Van's voice actor is giving it his all. I mean, this man, obviously the depiction of Van's face, the animation of it,
the man is bestial.
Oh man, it's whenever he is in that mode. Oh, dude, it's scary because you're like, this man wants one thing and one thing alone, and it's your death, and that's all it is. And so it feels primal. I guess the only thing I can say. And so in this moment, shit like that's happening where he's like going freaking primal on this guy, and it's like, damn, this is
he's getting banged up too. Like he's lost the functionality of like his left arm.
Right.
pieces of armor are missing.
Yeah.
But it ain't nearly enough to stop the motherfucker.
No, of course not. You can't stop that much sheer determination.
Right.
that sheer will.
So now that Van has come back, everybody's getting their second win.
Oh, of course.
The Eldora 5 are back up and at them.
Right.
Killing peeps left and right.
Yeah. Giving it all they
Priscilla's back.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of waking up from their stupor and going like, man, we got to freaking get at it.
It's time to go.
Before we finish up with like this last little bit of the show, I want to say this show, if it did nothing else, I don't think it quite did it the way that I would have wanted to, but it did do it though.
Yeah.
We've always talked about this on the show a little bit I forgot who said it or what it's called. I have to look it up.
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun.
In this case, Wendy's gun.
Wendy's gun.
Yeah.
Wendy's given a gun by her brother,
to protect herself with before he was kidnapped.
Correct.
She's been toting it around all over the place
and
to give it back to him.
And it only has one bullet in it. It has never had more bullets in it.
Right.
And I've never quite understood why, but I think I know why. And there's a point in time where she tries to give it to him, like halfway through the show, like we talked about. He kind of like throws away. I was like, you don't need it anymore. And again, she kind of goes out on her own. She finds it and is like, no, this is like, it makes it her own gun. It makes it her own thing. And it's like, no, I'm going to do good with this. Because she finds out that like her brother's obviously kind of a traitor at this point.
Part of this crazy scheme.
Yeah. And we're getting down to the wire and she keeps like, again, it's a revolver. It's like a crack barrel revolver. It doesn't have like I don't know what exactly.
Cylinder.
A cylinder, like, or I don't know what it's called.
Well, no, it does have a cylinder actually, but it will pop open.
Yes, it's I forgot what it's called. It's not like the revolver portion doesn't fall to the left. It's like a crack open one, however that's called. Again, don't come for me.
We're not experts on firearms.
I'm not experts on firearms. Regardless, she keeps cracking it open and only seeing that one bullet in next to the chamber, like ready to go.
Right.
And she's just sitting there looking at it, and she's kind of looked at it throughout the show.
Yeah.
And and again, I have been waiting with bated breath for this entire show. I was like, you can't just give us a gun and have our female protagonist sit here.
It is in the title.
Or it is. It's
half of the title.
She is the gun in the Gun X sword. I feel like, and so, and I'm like, we got to shoot it at some point. And we get that moment.
Right.
She stops her brother, and at the end of the second to last episode, she's stopping her brother from like continuing, and just holds that gun right up next to him. Like like it pointed at him in his direction, and I was like, "Damn, she about to do it."
Oh yeah. I'm about to kill my fucking brother.
Right, and it's like, freaking kill Michael already. Freaking get him out of here,
please.
This douchebag. I
hate that bitch.
He's the second hand of the freaking end of the world maker. He like pushes her out the way and walks away, and then she ends up just blasting him.
Not one to be ignored.
No,
with a fucking gun in her hand.
Blasts him in the right elbow, I think, or in the arm,
like the forearm.
Yeah, right. And of course, there's like a fight that happens or whatever. He ends up like choking her out, and like almost a shit happens.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that ending scene. I would have much rather like her would have like killed him, and or her would have like shot him somewhere more vital, and then him like have this like kind of altercation and then die out that way. I think it would have been a little bit more impactful if she like really, I mean, if she like shot him good, and it's like in the shoulder or like the lung or whatever, been like, oh damn, you got him good.
I do get it, but you almost don't want that kind of ending for poor little Wendy.
I don't know.
Having to come to grips with having to kill her own brother. I mean, it's the whole reason she left home in the first place was to bring him back.
Right.
And having to kill him would be like the complete antithesis.
He's a freaking...
Of course, given the circumstances, it's completely understandable.
You got to do what you got to do for the greater good of mankind.
Right. But I never want anyone to have to kill their own sibling.
You're right. Trust me.
Like, that's some shit You're
right.
Woof.
I understand. I wouldn't want to either. But anyways, like I said,
fuck Michael.
But frick Michael, exactly.
I hate that piece of shit.
Needless to say, like I said, there was like it's kind of a weird sequence of events that happens. Van ends up finally getting to this point where like he like chops open with his holy God blade. He cuts open
God's judgment.
He ends up like cracking open the the main body portion
big
of
chesto.
A big yep. He ends up breaking open and able to get to the claw inside of Birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And dude,
does not mince words.
Does not say a word.
Nope.
And at this point during the fight sequence, the claw is like really thinks he's an idiot. He's like, "You're such an idiot."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, it's really like belittling him.
Right.
I mean, obviously he's
not being like aggressive about it. He's just like, "Oh, you're just an idiot."
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Oh, this is what an idiot's like." And it's like, it's interesting to have to deal with an idiot. It's like he just kind of keeps like nailing it down, like really making it like for me making it feel like he's an actual like idiot.
Right.
But obviously Van's not having it.
Oh,
and
no.
Freaking just like is staying true.
Yeah.
His arrow is true, and that is the mark.
Oh yes.
So he is in like he's like walking down like this kind of like almost red carpet area, like towards him. And
he's got his sword at the ready.
The claw just like kind of chuckles and says like, "Van, I love you."
Right.
And just this kind of scene or whatever. And
immediately afterwards,
in the most satisfying way, just hacks him in half.
Oh yeah.
Just one fatal swoop. And at first, because of how he did it, he cuts off like his claw hand.
Right. All you see is it land like in the ground.
Right.
And then as Van is picking up his hat and walking away, you see where the claw was like suspended, just
right.
Cut in half.
Yeah, the whole thing
divides.
All of it, like a good anime moment of like just it just slides in half and falls down. You're like, holy shit, dude!
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, Fasalina and Michael are he's like losing blood. He's not doing so good.
Carmen's altercation with Fasalina, she ends up like dragging her out of like this storage area where they were keeping all these poisonous flowers.
Yeah.
And she ends up running across Michael, who I'm assuming was just trying to get to Fasalina at this point and get her out of there. But she's just like, "Oh yeah, okay, there you go."
Yep. This huge
live with this piece of shit. You deserve each other.
Right. Walks away, and this piece of huge rock debris falls and crushes them both.
Thank God.
And I was like,
it was very abrupt.
What an abrupt ending, but also I was like,
I ain't complaining.
I mean, you're right.
Fuck 'em.
Right. Damn.
I hate him.
And at that point, the original 7 is all dead except for Van.
Mm-hmm.
What a lovely ending.
Oh yeah.
And there's obviously some more. It really does. It wraps up very nicely. There's like all of them are having their fun, doing their thing, go back to their lives kind of as it normally was. Mm-hmm. Van does what he does best and just kind of
go their separate ways.
Van does what he does best and just wanders away.
Right.
And then handfuls of years later, I'm assuming.
Yeah, after a time skip, Wendy has opened her own restaurant.
Right.
And she's talking to this dude who I'm assuming is like with some sort of newspaper or
some sort of reporter of some kind.
Talking about the events that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Well, none of us really know what happened to him after that. And I mean, hopefully I'll see him again someday."
Yeah.
And right on cue, the motherfucker walks through the door, is like, "Hey, I'd like to get a drink and something to eat, please."
Yeah. He likes milk and all the condiments.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Can I get some milk?"
Every topping known to man.
Oh my God.
On anything that he eats. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
It could be a steak to a fucking burger.
The one thing I didn't get a chance to say, we're running out of time here.
Oh yeah.
But the one thing I will say I didn't get a chance to say is this is a man who has already died, come back to life, and has come to grips with that, and has also lost his wife to this man. And there's a few points in time. There's one point in particular where they're talking to him, and they're trying to like hurt him, or like they're really trying to take something away from him, and they were trying to reason with him. I can't remember what was going on,
right?
But they did this character justice as like he is already a dead man that has lost everything.
Right.
Like he is not. There's no reasoning with that. He's not like a normal human being where you can like, "Oh, I'm going to kill you," or "I'm going to take away this or that," or "I'm going to hurt you." It's like,
right.
Nah. There's nothing you can do that is worse than what I have right now. You don't know my life.
Right.
That kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, this was a fun episode. I'm so glad we got to talk about this. Oh, man, it was so great.
Such a good show.
If you haven't, it's also like super expensive to get the Blu-rays and DVDs.
Yeah. $400.
Have no idea why, but I guess I understand now. I mean,
right.
But anyways, if you're looking to watch this show, I think it's going to be on Funimation from now on.
Hopefully. I mean, it's got to be somewhere after this.
Please, that's all I wish is that someone can watch it again because it's a great show, very much fun. But thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far in the show, I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
this was a fun episode, and
Thanks
I'm glad
for sticking with us.
I'm glad that you're able to indulge us
despite it all.
Right. Make our time of happiness come true.
Oh God,
no, I'm kidding. If you're looking to find us, you can type in The Aftermath on all the major podcasting platforms, and you should be able to find us. If your podcasting platform allows it, give us a 5-star review. That'd be super sick. We really appreciate it. Where's the harm in that?
Nothing's stopping you.
But yeah, you can also just type in linktree/Ian Wolf and find all of our links there if you need to. Other than that, I think we're all done for this week.
Yeah.
It's episode 101. So
Boy,
here we are.
Like the Dalmatians.
Anyways, thank you so much.
See ya.
Bye-bye.